Local mom Amanda Kibble is celebrating an important win for her family and for school choice. Earlier this year, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves signed HB 1341 into law. This new law gives military families in Mississippi the right to transfer their children to any traditional public school around the state, assuming that the receiving school has capacity. Early indications suggest this is extremely popular, with lots of military families using school choice to switch schools. Amanda and her family found out the hard way that the law might not apply to those who serve their country in the National Guard. There was a real risk that Amanda's son might lose his place at their preferred school. That's when Amanda approached the Mississippi Center for Public Policy and we took up her case. We have a long history of fighting for school choice, and our legal arm, the Mississippi Justice Institute, has successfully litigated in defense of school choice on many occasions. I'm delighted that the Attorney General, Lynn Fitch, has now issued an opinion that the new school choice law for military families also applies, at least in part, to those in the National Guard. 3 cheers for the AG. If military families now have public-to-public school choice, why shouldn't everyone? That's exactly what our new Move Up Mississippi campaign aims to achieve. Public-to-public school choice for everyone. This week's win for school choice makes it all the more disappointing that the new Mississippi State Superintendent for Education, Lance Evans, took a sideswipe at school choice recently. Speaking at a lunch in Jackson, Evans criticized school choice, suggesting that if a single dollar of public money went into private schools, those private schools would be subjected to the regulatory oversight that public schools are subject to. Those that oppose school choice, and indeed I suspect Mr. Evans, know full well that extending state oversight across private schools would be untenable, which is why I suspect they suggest it. But it's not the clever argument against school choice that they might imagine. Giving every family in our state the right to choose a public school, as military families are now able to do, wouldn't transfer public dollars to private schools at all. Amanda Kibble and those military families that now have school choice aren't taking money out of public schools. Does Lance Evans oppose their right to choose a school for their child? The Mississippi Center for Public Policy proposes that under a separate program, families that attend private schools or who homeschool should get a tax credit reflecting the fact they're already paying for a place at a public school that they're not taking. Evans' attack on parent power was not the worst of it. Even more disappointing was his plodding presentation that preceded his attack, which was all about how amazing education is in our state. Evans trumpeted the fact that about a third of districts were rated DNF in 2016. Now only a handful are rated DNF. This, he implied, was evidence of progress rather than a reflection of a broken accountability system. When officials invoke the broken grading system as evidence of improvement, it's not just the credibility of the grading we should question. How bizarre that in a solidly Republican-run state, we have somehow ended up with an anti-school choice official in charge. Are the 9-member State Board of Education members aware of Evans' anti-school choice position? Are the various state leaders that appointed those members of the board? Since 2000, the number of students in America has increased by 5%. The number of teachers by around 10%. The number of education administrators, however, has shot up by 95%. No wonder the education bureaucrats don't want mom and dad to have control over where their child's share of the education budget goes. Parents might start to demand that it goes into the classroom. Lance Evans talks about making private schools accountable. Private schools already are accountable to every fee-paying parent. The issue is how to ensure that public schools are made similarly accountable too. We need to give every family in our state the public-to-public school choice that military families now have.